Hello again, Rebecca here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to day 30 of the Baby Got Scraps YouTube and Inspiration Hop. And can you believe it? Day 30. So today I pulled out my Rockabye Baby Cartabella collection kit and some scraps that I had previously punched circles in for a different layout and some mixed media. I'm going to go ahead and create using that sketch right there. So I'm going to go ahead and fold it up, and I put it right in front of me for a reference point. And then I'm going to go through all the scraps that I had thrown in this kit. Now I do only have the 112 by 12 because that is all that we are allowed to based on the Baby Got Scraps rules. I'm going to put my trimmer in, and I'm going to go ahead and trim that border strip off. And I do kind of toy with using the back side of it, but once I flip it over and I'm like, well, you can't because it's 4x6 cut apart. So we're going to go ahead and use this notebook ledger looking paper. You guys remember when that was all the rage? All right, so I have seriously been into making circle backgrounds lately. Have you guys noticed that? I gotta break the cycle, you know, but I do want to make a circle out of circles because I had all those 2-inch circles punched out from a different layout that I had created earlier in the month. I really wanted to use those up. So I just take my pencil and I just draw on the circle on. And then I looked at the sketch and it does have like a border of them going. They're smaller circles, obviously, but I'm going to make it work. I'm going to use up, I think like all but maybe one of them. I can't remember now. No, that's a lie. I have like, I don't know, maybe 10 left over, but I will use them. I don't get rid of those. Once they're punched out, they are now embellishments, right? So I'm going to go ahead and come in, and you see right there, I am going to trim these down, but I also have the date wrote on the back of it, which is something that I used to do. That, you know, like when I printed these pictures out when my kid, 18 years ago, used to write the date on the back of them so that I would know. But we don't do that anymore, do you guys? Because when I print them out, I just pray that when I need to scrap them that it's still in my phone or my digital file so that I can get the dates. But, you guys, it's going to be horrible. But I don't always save all my pictures because I've scrapped them. So once I've scrapped the memory, unless it's something that I really want to hold on to, like in my phone, I do delete pictures. I know. I'm going to the crafty underworld, right? All right, so as you've seen there, I just went ahead and matted everything with the remaining scraps that I had. And now I'm going to come in with my liquid glue and just get all this adhered down. Now, I did use the liquid glue because I am going to do mixed media over the top of all of this, and I did not gesso anything. So nothing has been gessoed. And I did have somebody that asked me about gesso. Missy Witten is like, you need to check out her channel if you have not, if you want to learn about gesso, but it is basically a protective barrier between the actual paper, the fibers of the paper, and the very liquidy, wet, crazy mixed media that you're going to put on top. So it almost acts, it's like a coating, okay? It's so you put that on, like, cooking, which I'm not very good at, but I know, like, whenever you go to bake a casserole or something, you usually use butter or Crisco or spray degreaser oil, something, so that it doesn't stick and you can easily get the food out, right? Kind of the same principle. It's so that you can mix the mixed media. If you don't want to use gesso, that's fine. It's just going to be harder to make the materials blend, mix, and move on top of the paper. And also I find I make a lot of mistakes. I didn't just find that out, but things run. I like to do the runny stuff, and I like to make it, kind of move around. Sometimes it goes in places that I just don't want it. The gesso, I can blot it up, and you can't see it. If there was no gesso, it would just soak right through the fibers. Also, this isn't any kind of mixed media watercolor paper. It's thick, but it wasn't meant to take all of the stuff that I'm going to put on there. Now, I didn't do the mixed media on screen. I do apologize for that. But I took that white gesso that I had, because you guys know I'm horrible at using white gesso. And I took some of my Nuvo, it's glitter, and I mixed it together, okay? So I made like a glittery white gesso paste, ran it through that stencil all around the circle. And then I took my, what is it? The glitter spritzer thingy that I just got from Tonic Studios. And I spritzed it while it was still wet just to make sure that the blue, so it's like there's heavier parts of the glitter and then the lighter part is what was actually mixed inside the gesso. I did go ahead and attach that strip of bubbles across the top that I had left over from a Close to My Heart summertime kit. And now I'm just going to go ahead and liquid adhesive everything on top of the gesso. And yes, a lot of it is going to get hid, but I love the fact that it just peeks out. So obviously, yes, it looked like a hot mess there, which to be fair, I think all of my mixed media looks like a hot mess until you start adding the stuff back. And then you're like, oh, okay, that doesn't look so bad. And then you're like, well, now I need to do more. That's where I need to learn to say no, Rebecca. You do not need to add more. It is fine. But I always add more, right? So, I'm having a ball playing with mixed media these days, and just to be able to get it used up, because I do have some stuff, some texture paste and stuff that I've had for about 6 or 7 years, and it's starting to get hard, guys. And I'm trying to use it, but I have all this other fun stuff that I just bought, and I'm like, oh. So you'll see in a couple videos coming up where I mix some stuff up. Anyway, I get all my pictures laid down, and this is just my son back in, I think that said 2003, so he was 2, and he's taking my house slippers and taking them on and off my feet and playing with my toes, so we don't really need to see that, right? And he's wearing my shoes and walking around the house. And if you would notice in the background of everything, there are like little barriers everywhere because he was 2, and he was like, he tried to get down the basement stairs, so we put a laundry basket there, and he tried to go into the kitchen, and he just tried to do whatever it was that you told him he wasn't supposed to do. So he's got little barriers that we built everywhere. I'm going to go ahead and stick the starry-eyed down because I feel like that's going to be the title for the layout, and it was because he was just completely amazed by how big my shoes were. And to be fair, now my feet look like that in his shoes because the kid's like a size 14. I mean, he is also 6'5". Who would have known? Who would have known this cute little boy would have became a towering monster? I love him. Anyway, he does have on all blue, and I thought that was perfect to use a blue collection, and I was going to do it, but then the baby got scraps. I had put it together a Rockabye baby kit, which was mostly blue for the baby boy, so I was like, score. And I'm just going to lightly embellish it. As you can see there, I just get a couple things stuck around. That little yellow thing is just kind of a little fun accent because he's my prince, and that's a crown. And I am fussy cutting out these little storybooks here, and I have to worry about staying on screen, so I will start to work on that. I cannot promise that the next coming days of videos I won't be off screen a bit because I just now noticed how off screen I really am. Goodness. I am just going to punch those in right in the areas where I feel like it just needs a little bit more of a pop of color. This video is almost to an end, so I do want to remind you guys that today is day 30. We have one more day of the Baby Got Scraps Inspirational Hop. So I will have all the wonderful ladies listed down below in the description box. Please go give my crafty friends some love. Watch their channels and see what they came up with. Remember, we are only allowed to use one 12 by 12 piece of paper and as many scraps as we want. And I will tell you what, I was getting ready to do another layout not too long ago, like earlier this morning when I'm doing the voiceover, and I needed some red or some black scraps. I had like 2 pieces, you guys. Like, that is how many scraps I have used up doing this hop. So, super excited for that. I do get a random button and some banners put on there and just a whole bunch of random stuff stuck on the page. You know, I have to pull in the yellow in a couple other spots, so I do have a yellow star at the bottom. And I put that little thing up there that says, I have no idea what it says. I cannot read that from this view. And I'm going to go ahead and try to find a place to put this cool. I like it right over there, so I am going to add some liquid adhesive. Not for any other reason other than it's like a thicker type sticker. It's not going to stick. And that is pretty much going to do it for the layout. It is quickly coming to an end. I do want to thank you for watching. If you liked my video and my layout, please give me a thumbs up. All questions, comments, and concerns, leave down below. And I will see you guys tomorrow for one more day. One more Baby Got Scraps. Thank you. Bye.